I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and at the same time, that is not a way that I would choose to identify me. Who I am is so much bigger than that, and that is only a small frame within the large frame that I understand myself and my relationships. My name is Sharon Kuehn. I am a wellness and mental health educator, advocate, and consultant. My first hospitalization, which led to the diagnosis and identifying as a person with serious mental health issues and receiving services from the public system, took place when I was 21 years old, or I don't know if I was 21 or 22, but I was in upstate New York, and I had gotten married when I was 20, had my daughter when I was 21, and then I went through some tremendous changes where my energy was just so bountiful. I was, channeling energy like I had never experienced before and doing a lot of things. I was very creative. But also doing things that were pretty out of the ordinary and getting me into trouble. So I did go to the hospital, first the community hospital in Ithaca, and then they sent me from there to Willard State Psychiatric Hospital, which was a really scary and pretty just archaic treatment site. First I was carried there in an ambulance. I was very distressed and distraught and screaming and calling out for help, and nobody was engaging with me in any kind of way to really assist me or be with me. But I did, get delivered there. I was full of energy. I was drugged down by some men who were behind. They came at me with a mattress. They shot me in the rear end, and I woke up in an isolation room by myself, but also noticing some indicators that I had been physically, as in sexually, violated. And so I was extremely distressed the whole time I was there and tried to talk to people about it, and pretty much just had an experience of nobody was listening until someone came in who was actually an ex-patient who was there to visit someone else, a fellow named George Ebert, who runs the Mental Patients Alliance in New York State. And this gentleman stopped and listened to me probably for 5 minutes while he was there to visit someone else. And in that short time, he reflected to me, listened, and he said, "Sharon, you're not crazy. It's a crazy world." And that's just a tiny little thing that he was able to do, but I felt so validated. I felt actually seen after that whole series of just frightening events where I just didn't feel like anyone was actually listening. One of the hardest things to recover from was actually just the diminished expectations that my family and friends and community had after that experience. And so when I saw that, people were no longer talking about would I go back to school and go to graduate school, it was like, could I keep a job in a restaurant? That was a big shift, and that was very difficult to overcome. I think, inside myself, the thing that was difficult to overcome was this self-stigma, is there something seriously wrong with me? Am I a worthy person? Am I valuable? Am I good? And these were questions that I had to really make meaning of after those experiences. Things changed in a very visible way when I encountered the Wellness Recovery Action Plan and really developed, I had pulled together quite a few wellness tools that I was using when I got exposed to that in 1997, but just, seeing the structure and having a community where I was able to not only use that plan for myself, but begin to teach it and travel around to different counties and teach different provider groups and family groups and people with lived experience how to use this tool to really focus on, gee, what do I want for myself? How do I want to be healthy? What can I do to make that happen? it was very empowering for me, and it really kept me honest in my own wellness path to do that work and to be accountable for it when I showed up in different places to share it with others. I have such a deep passion for everything I do because it's all personally meaningful and meaningful in my desire to be of service to the community. And also very meaningful in the way of the spiritual drive that I feel to open up pathways for more people who have had those experiences and told that there's something wrong with them, to really take that step into self-care and support to create wellness. I know that there are many ways of experiencing life, that I've experienced altered states. I've experienced God speaking to me directly. I've experienced the radio giving me messages, all kinds of things that I know are not normal reality. And yet I had those experiences. And I'm not going to forget about them or judge them. I'm just going to know that people can have a multitude of experiences, and there is not one right way to believe or to be or to live. And I'm so grateful that I had all of those experiences, because it has just carved me out with such a deep well of compassion and acceptance. I can really hold a very large frame on life and say that everyone belongs in that picture. And so I love the fact that I went through all that, and that even though I grew up in a fairly privileged circumstance with well-educated parents and all of that, I was given the gift of seeing what it's like to really travel out into that altered state, into the other side. You know, it's like there's no way that I could judge another person after having gone through all the things I went through myself. And so I'm just so grateful for the deeper understanding that I am able to have, and the way that I can see different possibilities when things are happening. There's never just one obvious answer, and I'm grateful for that.